Number two, consistently recruit new members and increase the volume and richness of the database, the data that you've captured around the individual customers that you might be directing communication to. And while there's some fairly standard ways that particularly email addresses are captured through pop-ups on things like websites, a lot of sophisticated marketers who are doing well in this area find a lot of other channels and moments that they can start to acquire email address and information at key moments. And that might be, after you've downloaded an app. It might be something that happens in another channel like retail when you're emailing a receipt. It might even be during call center calls to be able to receive more information. And so I think the point that I want to really drive home here is that to be able to have a really powerful program, you need to have people in it. You need to have a data captured within it that's going to allow you to send relevant messaging. And so find those moments when you're intersecting and interacting with customers across channels that might be great and not necessarily obvious ways, moments to be able to acquire people over time. And once you have someone in your database, the next step is to make sure that over time that you are sure that the information that you've captured for that individual profile is up to date, and if possible, provide additional information to that profile, additional data about the customer that you want to be able to communicate with for purposes of segmentation and making sure that you're sending really relevant communication. And so a couple of techniques that are commonly used would be what you see here from LinkedIn in the blue, which would be gamification, providing kind of familiar gaming elements to make it motivating for somebody to be able to take an action. In this case, it's showing that value exchange of if you're providing that much more information, some of the additional benefits that you might be able to unlock. And then this example here from American Apparel, which is an email that was sent out to all of their different customers that didn't have their birthday provided in their profile. And so what you'd be sending out here would be to get this email on your real birthday from now on and receive other deals and discounts, please update your profile. Happy unbirthday. And so here they're motivating people to be able to take a look at the data that American Apparel has captured, provide their birthday with the value exchange of providing additional offers on their birthday going forward. And so, a clever tactic to be able to capture additional information and make sure that customers are verifying what American Apparel has on their database is actually up to date. And there are ways to be able to capture additional data over time. One of the things that a lot of marketers have trouble with is when they're putting up their enrollment forms. In many ways, they can't help themselves to ask for a whole lot of information up front. And the challenge there becomes it's very unmotivating for people to be able to provide that much information. Customers are savvy enough to understand that their information is valuable to companies. And do they want to go through the time to be able to provide a lot of that information if in return they might just be getting an email newsletter with product offers? And so it's a better practice to be able to ask for only the information that you need up front. And then over time, if you're doing a great job around email marketing, you would have the opportunity to ask for more information to enrich profiles. And some of that might be through progressive profiling. So when somebody comes back, as an example, to a site, you're asking for just that incremental additional piece to be able to add to the profile. And once you start adding things like email addresses and phone numbers, you might be able to stitch together other sources of data to have a richer and richer picture from an anonymous to a personalized experience that a customer might be able to have with your brand. And marketers are increasingly using technology to be able to build richer profiles and take some of the work away from customers to fill it out and complete that kind of profile on their behalf. And so there could be a number of different ways, including the use of APIs to be able to, if a customer is only providing their email address, be able to connect that email address to other information that you might have on file associated with that email address, things like first name or last name and company. And so rather than asking for that information up front, which perhaps a limited number of people are going to be doing, so a limited number of people may be able to sign up, you're able to ask for a minimal amount of information and then connect that, in this case, email address to some of that other information to be able to build out richer profiles.